Hello children, welcome to online classes. I am going to explain some important questions MCQ from aldehydes, ketones, carboxylic acids and polymers. First one, reduction of carbonyl group to CH2. Carbonyl compounds are reduced to alcohols as well as alkanes. When CO is reduced to CH2, alkanes are produced. For this purpose, there are two types of reactions. One is Clemenson's reduction, zinc amalgamine HCl. Other one, Wolff-Kishner reduction, where hydrazine followed by KOH in ethylene glycol is used. So, reduction of carbonyl compound CO to CH2 can be done by Wolff-Kishner reduction because Clemenson's reduction not given. Benzaldehyde, regarding benzaldehyde, which of the following statement is incorrect? You have to underline that one. Incorrect. Wrong statement we have to find out. So this type of questions are a little bit confusion. You write clearly what is benzaldehyde. First statement. On oxidation, it yields benzoic acid. That is correct only. Benzoic acid is obtained. So statement A is correct. It is used in perfumery. Correct only. It is used in the preparation of perfumes. Second statement also correct. It is an aromatic aldehyde. That is also correct because CHO is directly attached to aromatic compound, aromatic ring. That's why overall compound is called aromatic aldehyde. So C statement also correct. We are searching for incorrect statement. So you need not check the D also. Okay, anyhow better to check. On reduction, it yields phenol. That is wrong because on reduction, benzaldehyde yields benzyl alcohol. During the reduction by LiAlH4, you break the pi bond, attach two hydrogens, one at carbon, one at oxygen. So the formed compound is not phenol, that is benzaldehyde. So statement D is wrong. That only correct for this question. So correct answer is D. Propanaldehyde and acetone can be distinguished by. So the CH3CH2COH. This is propanaldehyde. Another one is propanone, CH3COCH3. One is aldehyde, other one is ketone. So aldehydes and ketones both are distinguished by three tests. One, Fehling's solution, Tollens reagent and Benedict's solution. By using any one of these three, we can identify which is aldehyde, which is ketone. So here these two are distinguished by using Fehling's solution. Haloform test is given by the following substances. Haloform test we know aldehyde or ketone containing alpha CH3. This is responsible for the formation of haloform. So other side may be C, may be H. Aldehyde or ketone containing alpha CH3 on reaction with halogen in the presence of alkali gives haloform. So you have to remember this group CH3CO group. So among these, which one is having CH3CHO, you check. Formaldehyde is not giving. Next one CH3COCH3. Since alpha CH3 is there, it gives haloform test. C is the ether, D is ethyl chloride, it won't give. Aldehydes can be oxidized by. So aldehydes are oxidized by Tollens reagent to give carboxylic acids, Fehling's solution as well as Benedict's solution. These are all used to distinguish aldehydes and ketones. These three can oxidize the aldehydes to corresponding carboxylic acids. Ketones are not being oxidized by any one of these three. So the correct answer here is D. D is the correct answer. The reaction in which sodium cyanide is used. Benzaldehyde, there is one specific name reaction, benzoin condensation. When benzaldehyde is reacted with or benzaldehyde molecules are subjected to condensation, by reacting with ethanolic or alcoholic KCN or sodium cyanide. They undergo condensation. A specific mechanism is there. They undergo condensation to give alpha hydroxy ketone. This is called benzoin. Since benzoin is formed, this reaction is called benzoin condensation. Kenizerose reaction is not shown by. So aldol condensation, Kenizerose reaction we know. For the aldol condensation, at least one alpha hydrogen with respect to electron withdrawing group. If alpha hydrogen is absent, such type of aldehyde can give Kenizerose reaction. Now you have to check. So which is not shown by Kenizerose reaction is not shown. Formaldehyde can show Kenizerose reaction because of the absence of formaldehyde. Benzaldehyde also can show Kenizerose reaction because of the absence of alpha hydrogen. But acetaldehyde, because of 3 alpha hydrogens, it cannot show Kenizerose reaction. That's why the correct answer is C. Which of the following compound will react with ethanolic potassium cyanide? Almost same type of question already we have discussed. Benzaldehyde can react with alcoholic potassium cyanide, undergoes self condensation to give benzoin. The aldehyde which reacts with sodium hydroxide to produce an alcohol and sodium salt. So the aldehyde, if it is able to produce alcohol, aldehyde to alcohol is reduction. Aldehyde to sodium salt of carboxylic acid, not completed here, sodium salt of carboxylic acid, that is formed by oxidation. So same aldehyde undergoes oxidation as well as reduction. This is disproportionation. Disproportionation of aldehyde without alpha hydrogen can be done by reacting with concentrated alkali. So this is an example for Kenizerose reaction. So in Kenizerose reaction, which one can involve in the formation of alcohol and sodium salt? One without alpha hydrogen. So correct answer is aldehyde, formaldehyde. A is correct answer. You check B. B has 3 alpha hydrogens. It undergoes aldol condensation. C also aldol condensation because of 2 alpha hydrogens. Even D also having 2 alpha hydrogens. So one without alpha hydrogen is formaldehyde. That only can react with sodium hydroxide to give alcohol as well as sodium salt of carboxylic acid. So answer is A. Which of the following aldehydes is the most reactive towards nucleophilic addition reaction? Nucleophilic addition reaction, carbonyl compounds undergo nucleophilic addition reaction. Suppose this is the reagent added. Carbon is electrophilic, oxygen is nucleophilic. Nu minus attacks at electrophilic carbon. This is very slow step, RDS, and intermediate non-planar compound is obtained. This undergoes addition with electrophile. So this is the final addition product. During this reaction, first step is the rate determining step. In the first step, nucleophile is attacking. So the rate of nucleophilic addition reaction depends on the steric hindrance around chiral carbon, around carbonyl carbon. If steric hindrance is less, nucleophile easily attacks at electrophilic carbon, carbonyl carbon to create this intermediate non-planar oxide. So among all these aldehydes, the one which is having lowest steric hindrance is formaldehyde. So formaldehyde undergoes nucleophilic addition reaction quickly. The A is correct answer. The active ion in Tollens reagent. Tollens reagent is nothing but ammonical silver nitrate, ammonium hydroxide plus silver nitrate. So in the presence of ammonia ligands, Ag plus which is present in silver nitrate, undergoes complex formation. So Ag plus forms two dative bonds with two ammonia ligands. That's why it exists in the form of diamine silver 1 ion, that is complex. So this is the active form of Tollens reagent. Now coming to the conversion type question, roadmap question. A with ammonia gives B, B on heating gives P2O5, with V2O5 gives C, C with LiAlH4 gives D, D with HNO2. HNO2 is nothing but NaNO2 and HCl. You have to remember like that. It gives E. Only one hint is given where E is the alcohol which is used to denature, in the denature of ethyl alcohol. Ethyl alcohol, especially in industries, to make it unfit for the drinking purpose of workers, the industrialist can add some denatured compound, that is methyl alcohol. So when methyl alcohol is added to ethyl alcohol, it loses its nature, that is called denatured spirit. When any person consumes denatured spirit, it will damage the optic nerves. That's why methyl alcohol, E is the methyl alcohol. Aliphatic diazonium salts are highly unstable, they undergo decomposition easily to give alcohols. So D is aliphatic amine. Aliphatic amine is obtained from amides by the reduction of LiAlH4. That's why we should go back from the product E. Otherwise, another method, easy method, first you take option A in place of capital A and you perform all the reactions. If you get methyl alcohol, that is the answer. Otherwise, go for B option, go for C option, and if 3 are not giving the correct answer, methyl alcohol, then correct answer is the D. So you have to keep on checking A, B, C options. Now you check the option A, which is formic acid. HCOOH, on reaction with ammonia, it gives salt, ammonium formate salt, which on heating with P2O5 gives amide, methanamide. Methanamide on reduction by LiAlH4, it reduces methanamide to methyl amine CH3NH2. Aliphatic 1 degree amines on reaction with NaNO2 and HCl, that can provide HNO2. So by the reaction with HNO2, what happens? First diazonium salt is obtained that undergo decomposition to give alcohol. So you remember 1 degree amine on reaction with nitrous acid gives alcohol, 1 degree alcohol, methyl alcohol. So we got methyl alcohol E from formic acid only. No need to check option B. If option D is indicating both 1 and 2 or both 1 and 3, such type of option is there, you have to check option B also. But here such type of option is not there. So the correct answer is A. Next, the ease of alkaline hydrolysis is more for alkaline hydrolysis, ester. The compound given is ester, RCOOR. On hydrolysis of ester, it gives RCOOH and ROH. For the hydrolysis, water molecule being nucleophile has to attack at electrophilic carbon first. So the reactivity at acylic carbon depends on the positive charge on this carbon. So positive charge is increased by electron withdrawing group. So hydrolysis, rate of hydrolysis is increased by electron withdrawing group. Rate of hydrolysis is increased by electron withdrawing group, decreased by electron donating group. So among all these 4, OCH3 is plus R group, electron donating group. Chlorine is electron withdrawing group. NO2 is electron withdrawing group. But the electron withdrawing nature is more for NO2. NO2 is very, very strong electron withdrawing group because it is withdrawing group by minus R effect as well as minus I effect. But chlorine, it acts as electron withdrawing group only by minus I effect. It cannot show minus R effect, it shows moreover plus R effect. That's why NO2 is strongest electron withdrawing group among these three. So NO2 can make this ester to undergo hydrolysis easily. Answer is A. The compound does not decarboxylate on simple heating. So regarding decarboxylation, very, very important one, beta keto acid. Remember, beta keto acid on heating, just thermal decomposition, undergoes decarboxylation to give ketone. This is very, very important reaction. So first one, at beta position, keto group is there. So beta keto acid, easily it undergoes decarboxylation to give ketone. Same in the second one also, option B also, CO is in beta position, undergoes decarboxylation. Decarboxylation, very easy. But in the case of C, if you take, here in the case of D also beta keto acid, that also undergoes decarboxylation easily. In the case of C also, keto group is in beta position, but COOH is attached to bridgehead carbon. You remember, whenever the group is present on bridgehead carbon, it will not participate in the reaction. So CO2 decarboxylation is not possible whenever COOH is attached to bridgehead carbon. So correct answer is C. Which of these do not contain COOH? So aspirin is not having COOH. This is acetyl salicylic acid. Benzoic acid having COOH. Picric acid. Observe picric acid. 2,4,6 trinitrophenol is the picric acid. So by name acid, we don't think as it is having COOH. This is aromatic alcohol. In aspirin, acetyl group is attached to oxygen, not to COOH. Orthohydroxy benzoic acid. In place of H, COCH3 is attached. This is aspirin. So still it is having COOH. So the correct option is C. Which is the most reactive among the following? Ethyl acetate, acetic anhydride, acetamide, acetyl chloride. So here this is towards nucleophilic acyl substitution, or at least for hydrolysis you can take. Or COCl undergoes hydrolysis on its own, no need of any catalyst. Cl minus easily substituted by OH. So here the leaving group is Cl minus. Cl minus is very good leaving group because it is weak base, since its conjugate acid HCl is strong acid. Next, after that, anhydride. Anhydrides are more reactive than esters, then amides. So among esters, anhydrides, amides and acid halides are highest reactive. After that, anhydrides. For the hydrolysis of these two, you need not use any catalyst. Moreover, for the hydrolysis of ester and amide, acid or base must be used as a catalyst. So here that's why the answer is acetyl chloride. Which of the following compounds will react with sodium bicarbonate solution to give sodium salt and carbon dioxide? Alcohols, phenols, carboxylic acids if you take. Alcohols being weakest acidic among these three, they react with only sodium. They cannot react with sodium hydroxide. They cannot react with weak bases like sodium bicarbonate. Remember, alcohols. Among these three reagents, we have three reagents in our hand: sodium, sodium hydroxide, sodium bicarbonate. Alcohols can react with only with sodium to release hydrogen gas, but phenol, being more acidic, it can react with sodium as well as sodium hydroxide, but still it cannot react with sodium bicarbonate. Carboxylic acids, benzoic acid, being stronger acids, their acidic strength is more than H2CO3. That's why carboxylic acids only can react with sodium bicarbonate or sodium carbonate to release carbon dioxide gas. First they react with the acid forming H2CO3. So whatever the acid whose acidic strength is greater than H2CO3 only can react with bicarbonates and carbonates to release carbon dioxide gas. So here the correct answer is acetic acid. Acetic acid is dissolved in benzene. Shows a molecular mass of. So this is dimerization. Because of the dimerization, acetic acid molecular mass is CH3 COOH. Carbon 12, 12, 24, 32, 4 hydrogens. So molecular mass of acetic acid is 2. They undergo dimerization. Two molecules get combined to form dimer. That's why we may get the molecular weight in benzene as 120. Which of the following can decolorize the acidic potassium permanganate? Let us take H2CO3, H2C2O4, oxalic acid, reducing agent. It can reduce potassium permanganate. So potassium permanganate can oxidize oxalic acid to carbon dioxide. At the same time, oxalic acid can reduce potassium permanganate to Mn2 plus ions. So it undergoes reduction only by oxalic acid. That's why correct answer is C. The end product B in the sequence of reactions. Rx on reaction with the Cn minus, it gives RCN, potassium cyanide or sodium cyanide is taken. After the formation of RCN with the aqueous sodium hydroxide. Aqueous sodium hydroxide means hydrolysis. Hydrolysis in the presence of base. So what happens? It forms carboxylic acid. This carboxylic acid, since base is there, already base is there, formed carboxylic acid is undergoing neutralization, producing a salt. Here Na plus ions are present. That's why sodium salt of carboxylic acid is obtained. Which of the following esters cannot undergo Claisen condensation reaction? For esters also undergo Claisen condensation reaction in the presence of alkoxide base, but alpha hydrogen is compulsory. So which of the following esters cannot undergo means which is not having alpha hydrogen? A is having alpha hydrogen, so this is not correct answer. Ethyl benzoate. In ethyl benzoate, ester group is attached to the benzene carbon. It is not having alpha hydrogen. That's why correct answer is B. It cannot undergo Claisen self-condensation reaction. Others are having alpha hydrogen, you check. Correct answer is B. Aspirin is an acetylation product of orthohydroxy benzoic acid. Orthohydroxy benzoic acid is nothing but salicylic acid. So during the acetylation with acetic anhydride or acetyl chloride, H of OH group undergo acetylation at ortho position OCOCH3. So the correct answer is orthohydroxy benzoic acid. Which of the following is a natural polymer which occurs naturally? Polyester is synthetic, Glyptol is synthetic. Starch present naturally in potato, maize, etc. is natural polymer. Starch is made up of glucose units. C is the correct answer. Which of the following is a biodegradable polymer? Polymer which undergoes degradation, decomposition in the presence of biocatalysts, enzymes. They are called biocatalysts. So, all natural polymers, starch, cellulose, proteins, nucleic acids, they undergo degradation. That's why indirectly the question is which is the natural polymer. Polyethylene is synthetic, polyvinyl chloride PVC is synthetic, nylon 6 also synthetic. So the correct answer is cellulose. Cellulose undergoes biodegradation. Nylon 66 is a natural polymer, condensation polymer, addition polymer and substitution polymer. This is condensation polymer. Polymers are two types based on the mechanism: addition polymerization or condensation polymerization. Here nylon 66 is condensation polymer. Polypropylene can be obtained by the polymerization of propylene. This is addition polymer. So when we want to get the monomer of addition polymer, just you remove poly, you can get the monomer. Propylene, we know the propylene CH3C double bond CH2. This is propylene. Propylene on polymerization, we can get polypropylene, pi bond is broken, CH dash, here CH3 down, single bond CH2 dash. This is called polypropylene. So answer is C. Triethyl aluminum titanium. This is nothing but Ziegler-Natta catalyst which is used in the preparation, manufacture of HDPE, high density polyethylene. What is not true about polymers? Polymers not true, you keep it in your mind, not true, wrong answer you have to find out. Polymers do not carry any charge. Polymers, this is correct only, no? Do not carry any charge. Polymers have high viscosity. Polymers scatter light because of the big molecules. Polymers have low molecular weight. Polymer is macromolecule which is made up of high molecular weight. So molecular mass of polymers is very high. That's why D statement is wrong. So wrong statement only correct for us. Correct answer is D. Which of the following is a chain growth polymerization? Chain growth polymers, addition polymers are chain growth polymers, while condensation polymers are step growth polymers. So among all these four, which is addition polymer? Polystyrene. Number of styrene units, styrene monomers undergo polymerization to give polystyrene. Polystyrene is an addition polymer. That's why it is chain growth polymer. Ebonite. During the vulcanization of rubber, based on the percentage of sulfur, the vulcanized rubber can get hardness. If the percentage of sulfur is very high, it is very very hard vulcanized rubber you can get. Around if it is, if the percentage of sulfur is around 40%, it will become very hard rubber, that is ebonite rubber, may be used for the preparation of tires. So ebonite is natural rubber. Highly vulcanized rubber. This is highly vulcanized rubber. Polymer obtained by the condensation polymerization. So which of the following is condensation polymerization? Polyethylene is addition polymer. Teflon is polytetrafluoroethylene, again addition polymer. Polyvinyl chloride, again polymerization, addition polymer formed from number of vinyl chloride molecules. That's why these are all addition polymers. So bakelite is the condensation polymer. Which of the following type of forces are present in natural rubber? Natural rubber, we know, elastic in nature. So when the pressure is applied, its length will be increased. When pressure is removed, it can get its original shape and length. So the weak van der Waals forces, weak intermolecular forces are present in elastomers, that is natural rubber. So among all these, the correct answer, hydrogen bond, metallic bond, three-dimensional network of bonds. So the correct answer is weakest intermolecular forces. That's why it has elasticity. So children, with this I wanted to conclude. Try to take some more problems from these three chapters and practice. Okay, see you. All the best.